everyone, welcome to another week in review. It is Friday, September 15, 2023. We're in the third week of September, close to the fall pretty much. We've been having fall weather like for the last 2 days. So welcome. If you missed this live, catch the replay on the live, or you can catch the video on YouTube, some clips on TikTok and Twitter. We don't say X, but Twitter. So I'm starting with COVID. It's back. It's reemerging. It's here. Here it is. There were 17,576 new cases within the last week, within the last 7 days to be exact. Overall, we have 770,563,467 cases of COVID-19 confirmed. In terms of the death toll, we have damn near almost 7 million. 6,957,216. Damn. Damn. And of course, in the U.S., we have not reported any new cases, but there are cases on the rise here within the USA. But we still have the highest cases on the globe. And we're only 4.2. That's less than 5% of the world's population on the globe. We have 103,436,829. We have over 1.1 million people dead. But there are rising cases of COVID-19 across the country. Here at home in the United States of America. So according to U.S. News, hi Brian. According to U.S. News, there are several places that have some hospitalizations and some rising cases. In terms of hospital admissions, there are 5.7, and they're in places such as Florida, D.C., which has the highest new rates of COVID-19, with the hospitalizations at 11.8 and 11.1 per 100,000 people, respectively. Nearly twice the national rate. So there's other places such as Alabama, Louisiana, and Arkansas has the next to the highest rates. In terms of in the emergency room, there are states like Hawaii, Texas, Florida, South Carolina, Louisiana, Alabama, and Mississippi share the same higher rates in terms of hospitalizations. And this is according to U.S. News. Now, in terms of counties with the highest hospitalization rates per 100,000 people, here are the list of places within the states. We have Wilson County in Kansas, Grundy County in Missouri, Mercer County in Missouri, Letcher County in Kentucky, Arkansas County in Arkansas, Monroe County in Arkansas, Ebert County in Georgia, Wilkes County in Georgia, Wilkinson County in Mississippi, Emmanuel County in Georgia, Cole County in Oklahoma, Hughes County in Oklahoma, O'Brien County in Iowa, Marion County in Illinois, Washington County in Illinois, and Uvalde County in Texas. So, with the numbers I have just mentioned, with nearly almost 800 million people around the world with COVID-19, almost 7 million people dead around the world. Let's say those numbers again. Almost 800 million people had COVID confirmed. with the death toll of almost 7 million around the world. Here at home in the United States, only account for less than 5% of the world's population, but yet we have the highest cases on the globe. We account for 20 or 25% of the cases. Over 100 million people had COVID, almost 1.2 million people dead, rising cases in places like Mississippi, Oklahoma, Iowa, South Carolina, Georgia, a plethora of places, and only 70 something percent of people that have been fully vaccinated. The math ain't mathing. It's not. I mean, all the misinformation about the vaccine, but the people that have spread it are no longer here with us. Right? They're no longer here. People that have spread a lot of misinformation about this virus are no longer here, or they caught COVID and they're having a tough recovery. So I'm encouraging everyone to continue to wear your mask, get vaccinated, and stay away from big ass large crowds. Because honestly, to tell you the truth, this virus ain't going nowhere to probably like 2024, late 2024 into 2025. Depending if people do not get their vaccinations. And the vaccine ain't that bad. I had it. I had both doses and 2 boosters, and I'm about to get another one. So please get your vaccinations, and also take your flu shot too. And still wear your mask. Point blank period. So I have said my spiel COVID, because these 4 months are going to be crazy. I would like to turn our attention into the 2024 elections. That's going to be the theme between now and November 5th, 2024. Thanks for the reminder of the date, LMZ. So, we know Republicans are in a disarray. A lot of them are not going to support Donald Trump, but they don't know who to support. Nikki Haley became a star, right? But she's problematic. And she's considered a rhino, like Michael Richard Pence. Even though we should look out for Michael Richard Pence, because he will convince a whole plethora of people, especially the whites. He will convince them, and some Latinos. And then you have Timothy Scott trying to make an appearance. And then you have Asa Hutchinson still holding on to his string. And then Chris Christie wants to be the baddest. I mean, it's a whole joke show. It's a whole mess. But I find it interesting that Willard Mitt Romney decided that he is not going to run for a second term in 2024 as Utah's junior senator. Because he is a junior senator. And his reasoning was, you know, he wants to, what was it? New leadership. But we all know that he's trying to run for president. But let's go back 11 years ago, the 2012 elections, when he thought he had it in the bag. Chances are he didn't. President Obama mollywopped his ass in the last 2 debates. The second debate where he said, check the transcripts. And the third debate where he schooled him on the military. So Willard, you know, is trying to run a third party if he can't run in the Republican Party. But guess what? Nobody was that into you then, and nobody's not that into you now. And for the mainstream media to paint him as a moderate, your man's is not a moderate. He voted against the Voting Rights Act. He voted against the American Rescue Plan. He voted to impeach Donald Trump, but his abuse of power, but he did not vote to convict him. So he is not a moderate. So people need to stop that. And he's not the person to tell the truth. Like him, Liz Cheney, well, let's say their names. Willard Mitt Romney, Elizabeth Lynn Cheney, and Adam Daniel Kissinger are not heroes. They still hold on to that Reagan conservatism that is now just extreme. They're not people of the truth. And if telling the truth makes them heroes, that's a low ass bar. Okay? Low ass bar. That's all I'm saying. And transitioning to Democrats, well, now CNN don't know who they polling, because I don't get no goddamn phone calls or no CNN polling. Y'all must be calling them landline old ass people, even though I do got a landline. I'm just saying, because it have not rung within the last 2 to 3 weeks. So y'all not calling me, and I'm a registered Democrat. Boom. Y'all not even calling my cell phone, because my cell phone is listed, okay? And it's in white pages. And y'all not even calling me. But I digress. So, they poll and said 2/3 of Americans don't want the president to do a rematch with the bum. Here's the thing. Joseph Robinette Biden and Vice President Kamala Davis Harris. Well, let's do this. 2/3 of the Americans don't want the president to run. They want an alternative. If you think the alternative is the crystal ball lady, the gap tooth same jacket wearing ass motherfucker, and the reject Kennedy child is your alternative, nah. Here's the thing. President Joseph Robinette Biden Jr., Vice President Kamala Davis Harris is going to be your nominee. So people need to cut the shit, because they are the winnable ticket. They were the ticket that win again, because they have delivered for the American people since their tenure in office. And if it wasn't for them, we will all not be rejoicing with our families. We will all succumb to COVID, because it's the goddamn truth. We will never, ever get out of this thing. It would have been a lot worse if it wasn't for those two. It would have been a lot worse. Everybody had a dose of the Pfizer or the Moderna, and then you got that lame ass Johnson & Johnson, but vaccines were available and they still free. You go to any local clinic, from the pharmacy all the way up to your PCP, to schedule an appointment to take the vaccine. You'll be in and out of there in no time. They tell you to sit down, have a drink of water or take Tylenol, so you can avoid the symptoms of, having a sore arm for days and all of this stuff, right? So people need to wise up. Like, I am so sick of people in my party that don't look like me, and even some that do look like me want to fall in love with the candidate. Biden and Harris don't have to be your faves, but shit, they done a lot better than that last so-called administration. That last administration is the reason why we're still dealing with some economic issues and all other issues today, because they sold us out. They sold us out to the highest bidder. And the president and the vice president has to fix everything, because the last administration sold us out to the highest bidder. So people need to think about that, because fascism, racism, economics, and class is on the rise. These next elections is going to be about those 4 topics. Why are you speaking about race so much? Because guess what? It is about race. Then it's about economics. So people need to wise up, cut their shit, because it's going to be President Biden and Vice President Harris, and they're going to be reelected in the White House. Point blank, period. And getting to my next topic, which is the hit pieces. So David Ignatius, I guess he's a prolific journalist. I never really liked his stuff. I never liked his commentary. I thought it was always dry and boring and tired, like Bill Kristol's. He had a hit piece saying President Biden should not run in 2024. After already spending money on his campaign, after making the announcement, oh, he should not run no more, and putting the vice president into the mix, saying she's wildly unpopular. As a young person, she's popular to me. She's part of the reason why, well, majority of the reason why I voted for Biden-Harris. As a young black woman. So I don't know who David is talking to. Maybe his old liberal, socially conservative white friends. Bill and David. So here's the thing, David. Since your little trash ass hit piece, Vice President Kamala Harris have been getting a lot of enthusiasm behind her, kicking off her college tour. The president, on the other hand, is getting kudos for all the work that he has done within the administration and appointing the most black women to serve as judges on the courts. Almost lost my train of thought there. I guess, different faces, different colors of faces really frightens David and even Bill. I mean, let's get real. David and Bill's form of journalism is dying out, along with Maureen Dowd's and Peggy Nona's journalism. All that old, white, socially conservative, moderate, liberal journalism is dying out. It's played out. It's trash. It's whack. Nobody's not reading that. So of course they want to get clicks and likes and trash the president along with the vice president. Guess what? They're a package deal. And he's not dropping her. And she's touting his administration efforts. So David, who almost looked older than Joe Biden, and Joe Biden is 8 years older than you, not even a baby boomer, and still fit, need to go sit down and have some milk and cookies along with Bill Crystal, because y'all are the two crustiest old men to even still be active in journalism. Give young people their chance. Move to the side. Move out the way. That's all I'm saying. And folks who want Gretchen Whitmer as the nominee for 2024, Gretchen Whitmer is touting this administration efforts. She's on Team Biden and Harris. She's on the re-election campaign with all the other Democratic governors, including mine. So there you have it. And plus, the lady don't want it. She wants to live her life as a Michigander. Because she loves Michigan. Stop trying to put people in different positions. That's like they do with my AG. They want her as the AG of the United States of America. No! Leave them alone! Damn. People just do too much. That Beltway media do too much. And lastly, as I addressed David and Bill, I said this before, and I'm going to say this again to my white liberal friends and some of my black Democratic friends. Here's the thing. Trashing your Democratic ticket and trashing the Democratic Party, whether you think you're giving fair criticism, is giving the GOP talking points. I know we want our party to do better when it comes to messaging, be cohesive, be strong, be like Republicans. Guess what? We're not Republicans. We don't lie, cheat, and steal to get elections. We actually win with integrity and we win with class and dignity. And for folks who knock the Biden and Harris and say President Biden's too old or Vice President Harris not good enough, you guys want a Nikki Haley, a Mike Pence, or Donald Trump in that White House. And honestly, those knuckleheads will take us back to a time where the majority of people in the party that look like me did not have that many rights. I don't know if you don't know, but voting rights, civil rights, LGBTQ rights, all of that, women's rights, are on the line. They're hanging by a thread. Democracy is hanging by a thread. The rise of white domestic terrorism is hanging by a thread. And yet, You motherfuckers are mad because your faves are not running for president? Because you don't want the president to run because he's too old? The president is more sharper than a 50-year-old. Let's be real. Because you see on that GOP side, most of them look rugged and old. They look more rugged than ever. The president is fit and lean and is spry and is young at heart. And he's the most effective leader and knows how to work with people and can unite this country, because this country is divided, more divided than ever. And not just on ideology, but race. Let's be real. So I'm going to need for y'all to get it together and cut your shit. Because it's Biden and Harris or fascism. Pick your poison. Just saying. But to all you lovely people, all you happy people, stay safe and be blessed. Have a good night.